Just kidding. Welcome to the Dynasty Happy Hour. Nope. He says nope. We're all saying nope. Am I waiting for the music?
We're in mid-season form.
It's been a while. Gotcha,
form.
bitches.
You bitch.
I want to make sure it's not on loop.
Oh, this light pisses me off.
Well, all right, here.
Welcome to the Dynasty Happy Hour podcast. Pull up a chair and kick up your feet as you get ready to enjoy some of the industry's most entertaining and actionable Dynasty content on the planet. We're talking veterans, rookies, sleepers, and oh yeah, you know the crew has those dad jokes ready for you. So let's not wait any longer and bring on the host or some combination of Doug, James, and Tyler.
Welcome back to the Dynasty Happy Hour post-holiday edition. Happy New Year. It is now officially 2023. And if you're like me, you've tilted your face off all day today with your fantasy championships at hand. It's going to come down to a Monday night. We've been waiting all day for a Monday night, and that's what it's going to come down to. I've got championships on the line. One against Tyler, one that Tyler and I are in together. I've got one in a home league that I'm tilting my face off about. I love fantasy football. I do not like this tilting. I just want to win big and just roll. But that's not how it goes.
Oh, stress. That's all it is.
All the stress. But you know what? The most exciting time for me is coming up after these games close out tomorrow, and we find out if we won or we lost. Then it's the off season. It's my favorite season. That's why I switched over to mostly Dynasty. I'm only in 2 redraft leagues now, because I love the offseason. We're going to start to talk about rookies. We're starting to get hyped about free agency. I just love the news cycle of offseason football. We don't have to worry about setting lineups anymore, because I know that might have screwed me over this week. It's a blessing and a curse to have deep rosters. When you have deep rosters, it's great for injuries, but when it comes championship week and you're trying to figure out who's going to score more points, oy vey, whatever. James, I know you're a bit sad today.
So I went out front this morning, and like every Sunday morning, I get my newspaper. But this morning, there was a dead fish inside the newspaper, and I took it as a sign, and the sign was right. I am now swimming with the fishes like everyone else in my fantasy league, except for the champion in 4 different leagues. I mean, I don't get it. I just don't get it. I don't understand how I can lose in all 4 finals. It's
like being a Bills fan.
Oh gosh, yeah, right. It was a weird day today in football. A lot of players that you would expect to have had great games did not, and therefore, of course, the ones you expected not to have good games broke the sound barrier, especially down in Tampa. And just ripped my soul out of me. Yeah, that's how I feel. Sorry for the long.
Yeah, no, it's all good. It is it's a January 1st. Like, yeah, this is the joy of the new year, and then the sadness of starting the year off on a bad note. Who started off the year on a bad note is Derek Carr. Oh. He got benched for the Raiders, and here comes Jarrett Stidham, Patriot legend, against the Niners defense, best in the league. And what does Jarrett Stidham do? 3 touchdowns. He did throw a couple picks. Over
good.
350 yards passing. Is Jarrett Stidham the future? I don't care if he is, because I picked him up for free in UDPL, so I'm pumped if he is. I doubt he will be, but you know what? McDaniels worked with Stidham.
Yep.
With New England.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe there's where there's smoke, there's fire here. I don't know. We'll see what he does next week. But yeah, very interesting.
It's a good thing that Derek Carr's mascara is tattooed on, because if it wasn't, it would be all over his face.
Yeah, he can cry in his pile of cash.
I mean, let's be real. Like, it sucks to see him benched. I didn't think he played too bad, but seeing Stidham kind of play within the structure of the offense, it moved well, and Derek Carr seemed to hyper target Devontae Adams, and that was a problem. That started becoming a problem because the offense was like, hey, it's obvious they're going to Adams or they're running with Jacobs. And they actually spread the ball around. Waller got involved. Renfro finally got involved. The offense looked complete, which is what we expected, week 1. And now, are they a quarterback away? Is Tom Brady going to come there? I mean,
oh God,
there's so much rumors in the wind. What is going to happen with the offseason? Derek Carr, we're gonna go over Atlanta in a little bit, but there's rumors of him going to Atlanta. No, thank you. We're good.
No.
I don't want that.
Yeah, he'll land somewhere, obviously. Well, and we're going to talk this week. We're going to cover the AFC and NFC teams and talk about some New Year's resolutions, what we would like to see for each team going forward in 2023 from a fantasy perspective. But sometimes real football plays into that and will help in fantasy. So we're going to talk a little bit about that too. But before we jump into that, I want to give a shout out to Manscaped. They are sponsoring us once again. Just the absolute elite of elite trimmers. Dolphin Smooth is where it's at. Keep it trim. Keep it smelling good. The ladies will love it. They're going to give you the trimmer. It comes with it's got a light on it attachment. It's rechargeable. It's wireless. It's awesome. There's different lengths. So I trim my beautiful beard with it. It looks nice. So I keep that shaved. I get that going. It's just a great product. And once you're a little bit older, you're going to start to get those nose hairs, those ear hairs. They're going to give you the attachment for that as well for free, along with the Lawnmower 4.0. It's just an awesome package. And then after that, once you've all trimmed up, a little freshen yourself up, boop, boop, boopy doop. It's all included. You can use code DHH and save 20% on manscaped.com. Maybe you missed a Christmas gift and you're like, oh, snap, this would have been a great idea. Or you got a birthday coming up, or you just want to buy it for yourself because you know what? You want to look good, you want to feel good, you want to smell good, and you want those good feelings to be reciprocated to you in some kind of way. I'm not saying, but hey, check it out. Manscaped.com, code DHH for 20% off today. We did have a coach firing, and we're going to get more of them in a couple weeks. Nathaniel Hackett couldn't hack it. And what did the Broncos go and do today? They played competitively against the Kansas City Chiefs. That was a close game. I should have started Russell Wilson in the league. What a fool am I?
Yep.
Yep. And how about, just real quick, Jerick McKinnon, sneaky league winner. Who knew?
Bastard.
What's it going to be next year? Is it going to be Hilaire? Is he going to be a thing again? No, he's not.
No, it's going to be, you got to think outside. Okay, a 30-year-old running back. Who is a 30-year-old running back that's been around the league for a while that all of a sudden becomes a league winner? That's where it kind of
Ronald
changes.
Jones. Wait, what?
Is Leonard Fournette 30 years old yet?
27.
30 years pound age. He looked heavy today.
Pound age.
Poundage.
Poundage.
It's a way to measure cheddar cheese.
Cheddar cheese in the midsection.
Yes.
I love it. Good Alpine cheddar from Cabot.
A
So,
good sharp aged cheddar is amazing. So Costco has a brand. Off topic. I love cheese, but Costco has a brand where it's like super sharp, but it's that awesome sharp taste of the cheddar and it was like New York deli style sharp aged cheddar that should go on sandwiches like pastrami, like whatever sandwich you want. I'm not gonna say pastrami because I don't know sandwiches.
You don't put cheddar on pastrami.
No,
you put the sauce.
You put
the
Swiss
jus,
with
right?
pastrami, my
Swiss.
friend.
Yes.
Swiss, yeah, 100%. James is chef. You just gotta believe what he says.
Yeah, just
absolutely.
Stick
Yeah,
to the
it's
tater tot hot dish.
Not much other news.
Whoa.
I mean, there was some injuries in the league, but guess what? If you're league smart, you're not playing next week.
Yes.
Thank
We did
God.
have news on Trey Lance having a second surgery on his leg, and that went well. So it looks like he's going to be all set for OTAs. Brock Purdy, I don't know, he looks pretty good. So that's going to be an interesting offseason. Maybe we'll talk about it later as we get into our, what we want to see.
That's
for
why
these
there's
teams.
not much in the news, guys. We're gonna cover some teams today.
Yeah.
Finally.
Hint,
You don't-
we're gonna cover some of that
talk
stuff.
bad about Trey Lance.
You don't say
No,
that.
no.
You don't say that.
Say that.
My I'm absorbed. I'm drowning in Trey Lance rostership.
Yes.
I thought I was gonna be drowning in trophies this year, but that didn't work out for me.
Do you
You
get-
know what
do you
though?
get
You do
ribbons?
still have your customized trophy from Trophy Smack, and
My belt, yeah.
if you have a league winner in your league and you haven't gone out and gotten a trophy or a belt yet, no better time to do it. Go on trophysmack.com. Use code DHHRing. When you order that trophy or that belt, you'll also get a not a customized, but you get a championship ring. If you want to keep it for yourself to look really cool, maybe take some selfies with it, you want to give it to your league's high point scorer, which is always good because you know what? A lot of those times, the guy that scores the most points, he's not in the final. So you're like, you know what? Congratulations. Here's a little something for having a great regular season. Cool. But lots of customization options. Chef has a customized belt with the Swedish chef on the front.
Yeah.
And it's awesome. But you can do all sorts of stuff. And if you got losers in your league, we all know those guys. We want to give them a hard time for the next 9 months. Al, from first to worst. And now half of his team's on Tyler's team, and he might lose. So that's what I call a little bit of calm. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, check out trophysmack.com. Use code DHHRing for that free championship ring today. And quick shipping. So if you do it now, you'll have it by the time next week. This time next week, you'll have your belt. As long as it's custom. It might take a little bit longer, but you'll have it. Code DHHRing. Just do it. All right, let's get into this. We're going to start with the NFC, WNBC. Shout out to Howard Stern. Let's go with we're going to go east and then move our way to the west. How's that sound? I'm going to try to keep it. I'm going to try to do all the teams off the top of my head. It might be tough. But let's start with the number one team in the NFC East, or at least I still think they are because they have tie. No, do they have a tiebreaker? I don't even know. I don't know.
They're still number one.
I think right now they are.
Yes.
It all comes down to week 18.
If the Giants beat them next week, then they are not.
Ooh.
San Fran's nipping.
Jalen Hurts might be back. All right, let's start with the Philadelphia Eagles. What is our New Year's resolution? James, I'll let you kick this one off because your team's in the NFC East, so I would love to hear what you have to say about the Eagles going into 2023.
I mean, just like any of these franchises that we see starting to build, and then all of a sudden they get 2 or 3 pieces and they boost their production, boost their fantasy production, most importantly for us. Just keep doing what you're doing. Go out there and get those pieces, those added pieces. I can see a third, a slot receiver. Go get a slot receiver. They ran out Quez Watkins all year this year, and Watkins was great. I'm not taking anything away from my man Quez, but imagine if they had some kind of a speedster in that slot role. I think that would be the added piece, and perhaps another tight end to start grooming because Goddard is getting older. Sorry.
Tyler, what about you for the Philadelphia Eagles?
Give me Bijan. They have the picks. They have the picks. Miles Sanders, isn't he contract year? This is it.
Yes,
yeah, he'll be a free agent. Yes.
Yep. He had a pretty good year.
Yes.
But
1,000 yards.
Could you imagine Bijan in that backfield with Jalen Hurts? Oh my gosh. It would be the best offensive line. They've got a center in the making already behind Kelsey that's going to be their future. So they're not losing anybody on the offensive line. Man, like people think, okay, Bijan going to this offense, that would suck because, there's no. When you got an offensive line like that and a good team, yeah, give me all of that. And Bijan in this offense.
You want to pretty much look at like what Miles Sanders did this year and then probably add
some pass catching,
25% to 30% more production, I would think.
Yeah, Gainwell would be invisible. They wouldn't worry about
Boston
him.
Scott,
he's
street
gone.
free agent. Like
other than like Javonte Williams and Breece Hall, are we really? I mean, we could put Bijan anywhere, right?
There's probably some other backs, but yeah, I mean, Bijan is going to be top 5 once he enters the league. So, like, we're talking dynasty rankings. So, yeah, he is the real deal. I've watched probably 2 games of him, and it's just like some of the best tape I've seen from a running back.
Anymore,
yeah,
honestly.
He's so
I
good.
agree with you. I think one of the things that Philadelphia will probably do in the draft, and I mean this may sound like not harsh per se, I think they will spend like a semi-decent draft capital on a quarterback because Jalen Hurts. Again, they're a smart team. Jalen Hurts is going to be, what is it? This was year 3 of Hurts?
Yeah.
Yes.
Correct, right? So he'll be a free agent after next year. So I think they'll probably draft a quarterback. So that could be interesting in deeper super flex leagues if you're thinking ahead. I imagine they'll probably re-sign Jalen Hurts, but you're going to have Devonta Smith up for a deal. They'll figure it out because the good teams do, unlike the Patriots. Anyway, so so I would say that they'll probably end up drafting a quarterback, and that might shake some people to be like, "Whoa, they spent a 3rd-round pick on so and so." I get it, but yeah, I agree. Running back Bijan would be perfect.
Chef's kiss.
In this offense, especially for her. That would be great. So let's move on. Let's move on to the number 2 team in the NFC East currently, and that is the Dallas Cowboys. Tyler, I'm going to give this one to you.
My resolution would be re-sign Tony Pollard. Keep him in-house because they know how to use him. I'm not a big fan. Like, we saw Tevin Coleman with Atlanta in a split backfield with Devonta Freeman have a massive, massive season. And when he left, he kind of turned into a pumpkin. It was not good. I think he went to San Fran, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But
he had a decent year his first year in San Fran, and then after that it was
stay with a team that knows how to use you, limits your touches, and you get those explosive plays. I think if that is the case, Tony Pollard will be just fine and could be maybe like a top 15, top 18 dynasty running back. And with those limited touches, I know it'll be like 26.
I mean, I think he finished as an RB1 this year.
Yeah, he did.
So
but the thing is like limited touches. He's not a guy who's going to carry a full workload. He's a healthier version of Raheem Mostert back when Raheem Mostert was getting a little more volume. But the team has figured out the offensive line. It seems they can re-sign him, maybe restructure Zeke's deal, but they can get out of that. They just need to keep Tony Pollard in-house because what they're doing with him is perfect. So that is my resolution for them.
I'll go to mine. I think it's going to be hard for them to re-sign Dalton Schultz. I think he's on the franchise tag this year. So I'm going to say go with Ferguson and Hendershot. Like, I think those two guys are super talented, and I think that they could – I think they're more athletic than Dalton Schultz. Dalton Schultz is like a Jason Witten plus. Like, he's not going to make big explosive plays. He's not going to get super far downfield. He's a good safety blanket with really solid hands, and he runs good routes, but he's not a hyper athlete or anything like that. I think between Ferguson and Hendershot, those two guys could easily equal Dalton Schultz, and they're on rookie deals. There's no reason to spend $10+ million on them. So I think Dalton Schultz will walk as a free agent. And I say, take the guys that are already on your roster. Don't worry about, using draft capital. I think they have a solution in-house. So for that reason, I mean, I saw Tyler add Hendershot in a league this week, and I've added Ferguson in a couple because people aren't thinking far enough ahead. They're like, oh, well, Dalton Schultz is there. Well, yeah, he could be gone. He's on a franchise tag. There's no guarantee he signs a long-term deal. Dallas is saddled with that Zeke money. That's why they had to trade Amari. Well, I guess they didn't have to trade Amari Cooper, but it's one of the reasons they did trade Amari Cooper. So, yeah, grab either one of those tight ends, and I think the two of them are really good dynasty plays going forward because tight end sucks. Yeah. James, what do you think about the Cowboys going forward? What's your resolution?
Trade Michael Gallup. Trade him. I know they just re-upped on his contract.
5-year deal.
Trade
I like
him.
Gallup, though.
I like the guy. I'm sure he's a really nice person, but the fact of
Zeke,
his production, I mean, the targets were there all season long. Okay, they varied from 6 to 8 targets, usually per game on a per game basis, and he just could not get the job done. I mean, he split fantasy production with Noah Brown this year, probably half the cost of Michael Gallup's paycheck, and they're in need of a solid number 2 alongside CeeDee Lamb. Yeah. And I think that would benefit CeeDee Lamb and the whole offense together. So go get another wide receiver 2 that can actually spread the field and hold on to the ball.
George Pickens would look good in a Dallas uniform.
He would,
because that's the type
really well.
That's the type of a receiver they actually need. Like, they need a big guy that can go up and get it. Gallup, I do think will recover from that ACL.
Yeah, it'll be second year coming off ACL. That's
I think he'll be fine, but yeah, like the explosiveness, it's all CD, and they need another player.
I mean, they signed T.Y. Hilton for Christ's sake. Like, they know they need something.
Decent,
he does look decent.
But when you're on the field with CeeDee Lamb, if you're next to Gallup and Dalton Schultz, you're going to look a little more explosive than your age actually shows. So T.Y. Hilton probably looks a little more explosive on that roster than he would on, say, the Chargers.
That is very, very true. All right, let's move on to James's team. And James, I will, of course, give you the stage here to go over your New York Giants
All right. Well, this should have been 2022's resolution, but it's simple. Get rid of Kenny Galladay. Just get rid of him.
He's still
I don't care.
on the team.
We're wasting the money either way, so we might as well just eat it and get him off the roster so we
One
can
of the
bring
worst
somebody
free agent
else
signings
on.
in recent history.
Oh my goodness. And
Every
I
time-
know I'll let you guys talk about the other players on this team, but that is the number one. And I think Slayton should definitely be given a deal.
So every time Isaiah Hodgins catches a ball, I think it's Kenny Galladay, and I kind of like, oh my God, he's back. But my New Year's resolution is him. Give him an opportunity to stick on that roster and be probably the number 2, because I would not doubt they go out and try to get another weapon, but let Isaiah Hodgins be the kind of Gabe Davis style
Developmental.
player, like a player that shows major upside. Like that's what he showed in Buffalo too. Like they loved him in Buffalo.
And,
then
Dable obviously likes him.
yep.
He's on the Giants. So
Dable snagged him right off their practice squad and is like, nope, he's mine. And he's pretty much went up the ladder and he's producing. Like he looks solid. And
Yep.
he's a big dude, fast, good route runner.
And Tyler and I picked him up off the waiver wire everywhere.
I picked him up and started him in a championship.
So if you're in
match
a
this
league
week.
with us, and yeah, he's gone already.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, he's fun to watch too, and he's one of those players that you kind of just wish and hope, like Donovan Peoples-Jones. You just hope to God that they see the talent and give him an opportunity despite the draft capital.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my resolution is that you know what do they do at quarterback? Daniel Jones, I think, has showed he's been good, he's been bad, but he's been more
Daniel
good than
Vick.
bad. I feel. You know, he led the team in rushing today, had 2 touchdowns on the ground, 2 through the air, 4 touchdowns total. Like he's shown flashes, and I think with Dable, we all know what he did with Josh Allen. Now is Daniel Jones Josh Allen? No, but is he like Dollar Tree Josh Allen?
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean,
think
he's got the draft capital.
this offense is, you know, you got to re-sign Barkley.
Gettleman.
You got to figure out the receivers. You know, they're in the playoffs with a mishmash. I mean, of guys that, you know, you've got a rookie tight end who's producing in Bellinger. You've got Hodgins. You've got Richie James flashing. Like they're making the most of what they have. So I think if they make some noise in the offseason and, you know, you get Wandale more involved off of his injury when he's healthy, you give Hodgins a look, you get rid of Galladay. This could be a whole different looking offense next year. And I think it's kind of exciting. Just a lot of question marks. So I would say, like, you know, I think Dable has the right plan for what he wants to do. And, you know, it's all about getting the right personnel. So I wouldn't be surprised if in the first round of the draft, they draft a playmaker, kind of what they wanted to do with Kadarius Toney, who didn't work out for them, unfortunately. But I think that they're going to look for a playmaker in the first round for the offense because they need him. I mean, you can't count on Sterling Shepard coming back. Like,
No.
this is a lot of question marks. So, you know, for them, it's hit the reboot van, be like, oh, he rebooted, and that's the Giants' offense.
The defense looks awesome. Kayvon Thibodeau looks like a slam dunk of a draft pick. That
Yes.
dude,
He's Ojari. He didn't
Remember-
give me any
Ojulari.
fantasy points today.
remember
Ojulari.
when
He didn't give
Kayvon
me any
Thibodeau,
fantasy
the
points,
questions were, oh, he doesn't work hard enough. That dude busts his ass on
I
every
hate
single
those.
play.
We heard those about Justin Fields too. Remember?
Yep.
Oh, he's lazy and he doesn't take football seriously. So don't
Yeah, I
draft
mean,
him.
just to round out the conversation about the Giants, like obviously, I think, and it came out today in the news, it was all over the broadcasts about Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley returning next year. I think if they want to stay competitive the way they were competitive this year and build off of that, they're going to have to keep those 2 players on the roster.
Yeah, and Daniel Jones, the nice thing about it, he's not going to cost them a ton.
No, you
He
give him
will
a
be-
1
no,
year,
not the
$10
$22
million
million
deal.
that they were supposed to give him because
Yeah,
he's
no.
an unrestricted free agent
No,
now.
there
so.
won't be a ton of demand for him, so they could probably re-sign him on
Yep.
the cheap. All right, let's get to the last NFC East team. We probably want to speed up a little bit.
Sure.
Commanders. So Tyler, Commanders, they're out of the playoffs now. They thought the magic potion was to start Carson Wentz. They should have stuck with Taylor Heineke. Let's
Start
be
Sam
honest.
Howell. No.
Yes, well, that
That's who you took
obviously.
mine, man. I was going to say
Fine.
free Sam Howell.
Pretty much mine is get a quarterback.
Yeah.
That's it. Get a quarterback.
They've got the offensive pieces.
I don't know why they went back to Wentz. They should have either stuck with Heineke or went with Sam Howell.
They
I mean,
should have
that's-
put their foot in the mouth before they said we're going to stick with them even next week.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, on this one, I think it's you've got talent at the receiver position with McLaren, Dotson, and Samuel. Logan Thomas is a little bit older, but can be productive.
Had
And
a good
running
game
back,
today.
like, I think you're okay. So for me, it's all about the quarterback position. What do you do there? Because that really decides what it looks like for those receivers from a fantasy perspective. And Carson Wentz, he ain't it. Taylor Heineke, much better for those guys.
But
They
he's
need
still
a
in it.
commander back there.
They do need, and Sam Howell, that is a very commander-esque name, Samuel Howell. Like
The
I
third.
would go to war with that
That's
guy.
a Washington Commander's name.
I would go to war with that guy. So that's what I think the Commanders should do. It'll be interesting to see what happens. Year like 3 in a row now that they're trying to figure out quarterback. They're like the Colts of the NFC, pretty much. All right, let's go to the NFC South, and let's start with the NFC South champions, Tampa
Yeah.
Bay. Mike Evans porking everyone who had to play him this week with his 50 burger.
Guilty.
He got 1,000 yards. Congrats.
Had 70
like
in
the
one
ninth
of
straight
70
year.
in my home dynasty.
I'll take the Bucks. It's
All right.
all going to be quarterback.
Yeah.
Godwin's under contract. Evans is under contract. Fournette's still there. We like Rachaad White, obviously. Cade Otton looks like he could be the future. It all comes down to what is going on at quarterback. I don't think Brady returns unless they back up the Brinks truck for him. I think Brady goes somewhere else. It's a really attractive spot for a veteran to go, but who's that veteran? Rodgers isn't getting traded. They're going to make the playoffs, and it would cost them an arm and a leg to trade him.
Jimmy G.
Jimmy G is a name. Like,
That's
I don't
Jameis
know.
Derek
Winston.
Carr. Derek Carr would be a name.
Derek Carr. So, it all hinges, the fantasy value of Evans and Godwin's and that whole offense really it depends on what happens at quarterback. They're not going to have a high enough pick to draft one that's going to make a damn difference unless they get the kid from Florida because they want to go YOLO.
I love him, by the way.
I know. So for me, their resolution is, what do we do at quarterback? That is going to hinge on all the fantasy values of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, in my opinion.
I'm with you.
Yeah,
that's
I'm
mine.
there with you.
So it's pretty much, is it Carr? Is it Jimmy G? Are they going to go the veteran route?
I'm
Because
trying to acquire Rachaad White, by the way. He's
I
shown me
yeah.
enough.
Yeah,
I think right now is also a good time to acquire Derek Carr. Despite us bashing him, I think his value will be on the rise.
I still think Derek Carr. I mean, he's a 4,000 yard, 25 to 30 touchdown quarterback in a Superflex league. He's the perfect QB2.
I mean, we could talk about it a little bit more in depth when we get to the Raiders, but I'm right on board buying Derek Carr right now because the value can only go up right now.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Let's get to the secondary team. We'll get to yours in a minute, Tyler. The Carolina Panthers. Oh, another team with quarterback questions. Fancy that. James, Carolina Panthers, what's their New Year's resolution? What would you like to see happen?
I think just hit the reset button on the whole damn franchise. They need a quarterback. They need running back.
Do
They
they?
need complementary wide receivers. Like,
Yeah.
don't they need a new head coach too?
That
Like, that's starters.
Wilkes has done a good job.
He's done a fine job. Like the
Yeah,
thing,
I'm just saying we know they're.
I mean,
that
he's
they're
polished
rebuilding.
up a turd and got them into the playoff hunt at least.
Yeah. So that's pretty much being in the NFC South. You look better than you actually are, which is the issue for Carolina because outside of the division, they probably look like a turd. And
Yes.
so for me, that defense looks good.
And I know. Wait, I got to pause you right there. They need to go out and get a cornerback because Mike Evans crapped all over.
Well, it's because
Anderson.
J.C. Horn was out.
And CJ Henderson is absolutely #bad.
Yeah, he's not good.
Yeah,
But,
get rid of Henderson.
But mine, like Doug said, do they need a running back? Or can they go with the duo?
I think they could go with Foreman and Chuba on the cheap.
What they need is a quarterback. Sam Darnold has gotten him through a little bit of bumps, but he's still Sam Darnold. He's going to be a fine backup that when he's probably 27 in 8 years, he'll get another opportunity. So, but no, realistically, Sam
Journeyman.
Darnold he's
20-year-old journeyman.
He's still
Sam
24 years
Darnold.
old, which is nuts. But
They just need playmakers on offense. Like they have DJ
Yeah.
Moore, who we all love. Terrace Marshall has shown flashes this year, but he's not consistent. Shy Smith, okay.
Tim's guy, Tim Keller's
Yeah,
guy.
he likes him. But, outside of that, you've got the tight ends. Tommy Tremble scored today, and I like Tommy Tremble. Ian Thomas is just a blocker.
They need
like,
playmakers.
They
That's
need
what
play.
need.
They need yes. And Laviska, he makes the occasional play, but he ain't it.
Sad
It's going to be
trombone.
year 4 for Laviska next year. It's done. It's done. I just cut him from a dynasty squad with contracts. I was like, I'm done. I can't do the Laviska thing, and I loved him coming out of school. But yeah. So again, this is a very quarterback needy division, and that leads us to the New Orleans Saints. Who won today? They were just stubborn and went with Andy Dalton all year when Jameis was right there, which kind of pissed me off, to be honest.
Jameis said something. That's my guess. That's my only guess.
I mean,
'cause
he's a bit of a
Dalton looked
knucklehead, so
bad.
I could see that. But yeah, they need. I mean, Olave. They need a healthy
You
Olave.
think he turned
They need-
around and he was just like, this wouldn't have happened if Sean Payton was still here.
No, Jameis would be
Ooh.
starting if Peyton was there.
exactly.
Yeah, the New Orleans Saints, if anything is shown true this year, they can't rely on Michael Thomas, and they need playmakers as well outside of Chris Olave.
Hey,
Like
Rashid
Jawan Johnson was
Shaheed.
a nice story. Shahid's been a nice story for like deep plays.
James is spray tan
Yeah,
player.
spray tan player.
Great tan player. Alvin Kamara.
Well, he turned out should have been the sleeper
Is
player.
it
What's the future with Alvin Kamara? Like,
Could he be
do
suspended?
they trade Alvin Kamara because they're
Ooh,
just
that
like,
comes up again.
do they trade Alvin Kamara because
Sell.
yeah, I don't know.
It's sad because he looks so good when he gets the ball. It's just I don't know what
They don't even use him in the passing game.
I don't know what that offense is doing personally. Like I don't. They should be hyper targeting Olave, acting like he's the one. Even though me personally, I don't feel like he is a true one, which
No, he's
he's
not a
kind
true
of
one.
shown.
Right.
But for me, like hyper target Olave, get Kamara the ball in the space, and put Jameson despite his flaws. Like he's going to get the ball on the field because he's got a good arm.
He's played well
That's-
for them.
You know what my resolution is for them? Let Jameis free because
Oh.
he is a starting quarterback in this league.
Same Z's.
Could he go back to
That's what I
Tampa? Could he go back to Tampa? Can he be a quarterback for the Raiders?
I think he can go somewhere and be a starting
He-
quarterback.
he's a
There's no
starting
reason why
quarterback.
he sat on the bench all year long. It's just
Yeah.
it's ridiculous. The franchise is going nowhere.
Yeah,
And they're going to be in the bottom.
and I'm happy because I hate the Saints because I'm an Atlanta fan. Not only
Yeah.
that, but
And they don't have a first round pick, correct?
that is correct. They traded to go get Olave.
And they need players. I mean, their defense is good, but they need offensive players. So
Their defense is also getting older, which
it
is an issue.
Lattimore has been hurt all year. Like,
Yeah.
First game today had an interception.
yeah. All right, let's move on to Tyler's Falcons.
I
already know what this answer is going to be.
I could give you tons and tons,
Mm-hmm.
but the greatest gift was getting a running back in the
I was
fifth
going
round.
to say Tyler
but-
Algier.
Yeah.
But my resolution is draft a quarterback. Don't trade for one. Go ahead and draft one in, I think you're the 7th or 8th spot. Is it Will Levis? CJ Stroud looked amazing in his game this weekend. There's 3 quarterbacks that I think are actually legit for Anthony Richardson. I think he's also a good player as well. That's going to be in the mid first round. But for me, draft a quarterback. Get the future and get somebody who's going to target Kyle Pitts in the middle of the field. Personally, Ritter would have been perfect for him. I think Ritter would hyper target Pitts. But for me, get that quarterback, solidify your future. I don't think Ritter's it. His completion rate, there was a point where it was like 8 for 27. That's not good.
Much better today, though, so that's good.
But you found a gift in the 5th round this year. Go get your quarterback. That's my resolution. Go get a quarterback.
I agree with that. Let the offense flow through Pitts in London.
Yes.
And the only way you're going to be able to do that is with my resolution and just get rid of Arthur Smith. All right. I am tired of seeing this
His
style of
offense
offense.
is boring.
It is boring.
It works in
have
Tennessee. It doesn't work elsewhere.
They have playmakers with Pitts, with London, and even Cordarrelle Patterson from last year. And we just saw it all start to funnel through Algier. Now, Algier was a blessing in disguise. I liked Algier. I'm happy for him as a player. But I think this offense goes stale with the play action when they have real playmakers. And we didn't get, like Tyler alluded to, we didn't get to see Pitts with Ritter at the end of this year. I don't think they go out and get a quarterback, to be honest. I think they start looking at their defense. Their defense is starting to get a little bit older. But yeah, start using your playmakers a little bit more. That's what I got.
It's
And get
They
rid
got a
of
lot of
Arthur
needs.
Smith.
Ar-
I'm
Arthur
tired
Smith.
of it.
Arthur Smith is a guy that in
So
2020,
boring.
2023 week 8 will be on the hot seat. That's my
Oh,
guess.
I think he might be on the hot seat. No.
Like
I-
he's
I
on the
hope
hot seat
so.
now. I would believe so.
I hope so.
After
I mean,
today,
they were the leaders in the division just a month ago,
Yep. And then offense. got
and they
stale.
kind of like dribbled down their leg, and yeah. So get him out of here. All right, let's move to
Put
the
him in the bathroom.
NFC. What are we doing? We got the Central there, the North.
We got the North and
Let's
the
start
West.
with let's start with the Vikings because this team, they're 12-4, but they have the weirdest point differential. I think they're negative now in the season. Just a weird ass team. They had the biggest comeback in history. They had the Bills game, which they won, and then they shart down their leg against the Packers today. Like, I guess my resolution for the Vikings isn't going to be anything drastic. I think that they could use a replacement for Adam Thielen. He's getting a little long on the tooth. And Jefferson, again, when you have an offense that runs through a receiver, teams can scheme for that. I think getting Hawkinson was a smart move because he's shown that like he can get hyper targeted there and be really successful. But it really keys on if they want their offense to evolve under O'Connell in year 2, they need to find a playmaker opposite Justin Jefferson at the receiver position. Now, we saw Jalen Naylor make some plays in garbage time. He ain't it. I like him. I've got him on some deep dynasty teams. But you got to find a solid number 2 because Thielen, he's great in the red zone, and he's had maybe 1 or 2 good games all year fantasy-wise. But he's an eroding asset. And I think, he's age, 30 now, Tyler? Going on 31?
No, he's older than that. He's probably 33, I think.
Okay, so yeah. So it's time to move on from Adam Thielen and get someone in there that's not KJ Osborne, who had 1 good game all year, and a garbage time touchdown that might affect me, whatever. But yeah, and Dalvin Cook, I think Madison's probably going to walk as a free agent. I like Ty Chandler, who's there.
Yep.
But to me, I'm hogging up the Vikings, which I apologize, Tyler.
No, you're good.
Go. Yeah.
My New Year's resolution is to get that offensive line fixed. We saw with the Rams when O'Connell was there, the offensive line started falling apart a little bit. And this year, it completely fell apart. And I'm worrying that the same offensive philosophy of kind of foregoing the offensive line and not worrying about it will hurt the Vikings in the long term. I hope that doesn't happen. We saw it today. We're on our 3rd string center, and it showed. A lot of delay of games, a lot of offensive penalties on us. But if we got 2 really good tackles, if Darius Hall can stay healthy, that's awesome. But what we need to do is fix the interior of our offensive line. If Kirk Cousins can have time to throw the ball, he will be okay. I do like KJ Osborne. I think he's a fine 3rd piece, but I do agree with you, Doug. They need to go in this draft class and look at like a Quentin Johnson, I think his name is, from TCU, who is a big receiver that can make plays. They need a bigger bodied guy that can with a little bit of speed. You know who'd been good there? Jameson Williams.
Sidney Rice.
Jameson Williams.
Wait, what?
What about DJ Shark?
DJ Shark would be good. But Jameson Williams, with that 12th pick they traded, would have been perfect there. The one they traded to Detroit?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He would have been a perfect fit for the Vikings. Him and Jefferson would have killed together.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what they do. They have a team. They're a team that offensively, they have some needs, and defensively,
so
we've seen
hot
that.
and cold. So they're not. They're going to be that playoff team that's one and done because their defense sucks. And when you can stop their offense from really rolling, no, they suck.
Yeah. And what's up with Isaiah Likely stealing Mark Andrews' touchdowns? That's not.
Come on,
That's not
exactly. Come on.
That
Everything
wasn't
else
likely
was
in the
gonna go
outcomes
on.
that I had right now.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, whatever. All right, let's move on to the Green Bay Packers. James, what do the Packers need to do? Rodgers ain't going anywhere. Sorry,
Yeah,
Tyler. It's not
and
George
all
Love
they
season.
need to do is let Aaron Rodgers control the team. Whatever the hell that guy wants, just get it for him. And this has been the recipe for success the whole time he's been there. Just get him who he needs to throw the ball to. I think
You mean spend money in free agency, maybe?
Yeah, possibly. Other than Randall Cobb's salary,
Get
yeah.
him Devontae Adams.
Hey, now there's an option.
We'll give him back to you.
Just let him do whatever the heck he wants. Get him the players that he needs. He obviously still has talent. I think their offensive line could use a little bit of a pick-me-up. He is getting a little bit hit more, scrambling more than he has in the past. And
How
it's
about a
starting to
free
show.
agent tight end like a Mike Gesicki?
Perfect.
Yes, Doug.
Yes.
Hmm?
Yes.
Possibly. I like Robert Tonyan, but he's not it.
No.
Yeah.
Mine is let me see. Throw Christian Watson. Actually, no. I'm gonna pause. Stay healthy, Christian Watson, because when he is healthy, he's very good.
I like the
And
combo of Watson and Dobbs.
I think Watson as a speed guy is perfect for Rodgers. I think it's what they needed. He'd be good in Minnesota too. Somebody to stretch the field, but no, Watson.
There's no reason Christian Watson can't be the new what's his face there that wore the hoodie.
MVS.
No,
James
before that.
Jones?
James Jones. Yes, he could have a James Jones like that. That could be his role. And James Jones, we saw get double-digit touchdowns and
I like
1,000
it.
yards.
I just think Watson. He feels like I wasn't a huge massive fan of him coming in, but
Same.
the connection they've shown, I think can grow, and there's a chance.
He reminds me
Watson-
of a young Amari Cooper.
Watson could be a massive breakout opportunity if he stays healthy. So that's going to be my New Year's resolution is, hey, Christian Watson, stay healthy.
Yeah, I agree with you guys on them ones. Let's go to Detroit. Detroit, lots of fantasy goodness, especially with Jared Goff when he's playing at home. Those home road splits, whew, they are very good.
Massive.
When Goff's at home, you start Jared Goff. Tyler and I traded a second-round pick, which will be a late second for Jared Goff, and I'm glad we did because it's helping us.
Yeah.
Because we were relying on Davis Mills for a little while, and that didn't work out. But for me, I want to see them just commit to DeAndre Swift. Stop dicking around with Justin Jackson. Stop dicking around with Craig Reynolds. Jamal Williams, I know they'll bring him back because he's a great locker room guy, and he had a good game today again.
And he broke Barry Sanders' all-time touchdown record.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Single season.
But
Yeah,
for
in a
me,
season.
it's get DeAndre Swift's usage where it should be. Like, even
Which
if it's
is what it was
15
today.
touches a game, I'm cool with that. Like,
Yeah.
let's just get there and then go from there. Because Swift, we all know, with the ball in his hands, he's a playmaker. He could be a huge difference. Obviously, getting a certain wide receiver healthy next year, which I'm sure you guys will cover, is a big piece of that. But for me, it's get DeAndre Swift in line from a touch standpoint. James, what do you got on the Detroit Lions?
Don't go quarterback shopping this season.
100%.
Bingo.
100%.
That's what it is. Goff understands this offense. He can command this offense. We've seen him progress throughout the season, and I think he stays there. I really do. I really hope that they have enough sense to go out and keep him
Consistency,
happy.
familiarity.
Yes. Like, they have all the weapons around him. Like, we saw what he did in the Rams organization when he had weapons. So I think they're onto something in Detroit. Keep doing what you're doing and keep Goff there.
Yeah.
Which I'm going to piggyback off of and say try your hardest to keep Ben Johnson, the offensive coordinator, from accepting a job. I don't think it's that. I think he's going to be a head coach just from what he's done with this offense. But try your hardest to keep him because what he's doing with this offense and how Goff understands it is perfect. It's a perfect marriage, and Goff is he's playing the best he's played
Blossoming.
since he's played with the Rams on their Super Bowl run.
Yeah, exactly.
Goff is a top 12 quarterback in the NFL. I'm not talking fantasy right now. In the NFL, in this offense. And that's a huge deal. You got Goff and 2 first-round picks for Matt Stafford, and you got the better quarterback right now. Like
You got a top 5 or 6 pick too.
Yeah, and which you can go ahead and draft a
Linebacker.
defensive line, to pair with Hutchinson, or get the other pick.
They can
your
get
pick,
some edge rushers.
Go
They
get
need some edge rushers.
like I talked to Doug, Michael Mayer from Notre Dame, a tight end. I know Brock Wright
I don't want to
had
see
2
the
touchdowns.
Lions. I don't want to see the Lions draft a tight end again. I've been
The
hurt
way
too
they
many
use
times.
tight ends, I would love Michael Mayer in this offense because he is like a souped up version of Hawkinson. He's built like a stone brick house. Massive dude, can block, runs routes like Gronk. Like
Isn't a
he's
stone brick house made of brick?
Yeah.
a stone brick house.
It's a brick
yes.
house.
He's
Yeah.
built like one.
Oh. All right.
But yeah,
I think
I just hope they
the
keep.
brick shit house.
I hope
I think
they
that's
keep
right.
Ben Johnson.
Yes. Let's go to the Bears. This is a pretty obvious one. James, what do the Bears need to do?
Yep. I'll
Draft
just
wide
say yep.
receivers.
Hey, or trade for one,
Yeah.
like
Not
the
a second
Bills
round.
Get
and the
wide
Eagles
receiver.
did.
They did though, guys. Chase Claypool, 2nd-round pick.
I
Get
like
wide receivers.
I like Claypool's potential, but they still need something to go with.
They need
Mooney
an
and
alpha.
Claypool.
They need an alpha in that offense. It's not Darnell Mooney. He's a 2 at best. Really like a really good 3. Same with Claypool. He's a 2 at best. Probably a middling 3. Cole Kmet, I think he's great, but they really need a solid alpha wide receiver.
I'm gonna one up you guys.
I know
Protect Justin Fields because that dude is going to be like a toy soldier, broken in pieces by 2 more years if you don't protect that guy. He gets hurt every single game. I love the fantasy points I'm getting from him. I have him in a league, and I'm debating on put him on the trade block because I don't trust his health. Because you can't protect him. You're literally putting him out in the ocean, just being like, good luck, see you, good luck. You know, oh my God.
The ocean, more like a mosh pit.
Yeah.
I mean, the ocean in a
Like
plastic
perfect
boat.
storm.
Yeah.
Perfect storm
Yeah.
ocean.
In a plastic boat.
Okay.
Nice. I'm messaging about all. Mine is to commit to Khalil Herbert in the offseason.
Yeah.
Let Montgomery walk.
Mm-hmm.
You got Herbert. You've got, Darrington Evans, whatever. You've got the other kid there. Draft a running back in round 4 or 5. I'm cool with it.
Deep class.
Herbert can absolutely be the guy for Chicago. So that's what I'm doing. I'm not spending money to bring David Montgomery back because he's probably going to get 7, 8 a year based on his track record. So I'm going to commit to Khalil Herbert. He's on a cheap rookie deal. That's what you should do if you want to win games. Do not commit big money to running backs. Hello. So for me, it's all about Khalil Herbert. And I've traded for him in a couple of dynasty leagues in the last couple of months, hoping that will be the case. All right, let's move to the NFC West. It's not the worst. The NFC South is the worst, let's be honest. I don't know the order for the NFC West. I'm just going to go Seattle. Like Seattle, Geno Smith's been a fun surprise. But James, what's on the wish list for Seattle in 2023?
I was going to say let Geno Smith cook for at least another 2 years. I think he's warranted that. He's shown enough that. Start building around him. I hate to say it, but I think Tyler Lockett his time is up. We see year after year he's starting to get hurt.
Awesome year.
He had a great year.
He's the Derrick Henry of receivers.
Derrick Henry of receivers, yeah. But you also have to think about the picks that they have. All right, we know that they're going to go after a quarterback in this draft, right?
They're going to have a top 3 pick.
Yeah. Do they need to start that quarterback right away? No. I think Geno Smith keeps the job for at least next season, and they're going to need to start rebuilding behind that. They already have
be the perfect mentor for a CJ Stroud because Smith is like mobile when he needs to be, but he's more or less a pocket passer.
He's a pocket passer.
That would be a perfect fit.
Yeah, I agree. But they'll probably go with Will Levis so they can have, God.
So Drew Lock can show him how to. Yeah, never mind.
I do like Will Levis. He reminds me a lot of, but we'll talk about that in the offseason. For me, it's keep beefing up that offensive line. Keep Geno. Their 2 tackles they got in the first and third round. Awesome. Those were golden ticket picks.
Clutch.
And they got I think their right guard Lewis is another second year or first year player, but their offensive line is young. And if they can spend say they go this 3rd round pick and get a guard and solidify that position, oh my God, this offensive line for Ken Walker could be insane. We're talking Zeke Elliott, 2nd year style offensive line. That offensive line in Dallas was nuts. And that's the reason why Zeke was running wild. Ken Walker could be doing that same thing if they keep beefing up that offensive line. That's my wish.
Run today for over 60 yards.
Yeah, that's my wish.
Yeah, I like it. What else we got in the NFC West? We got the
Zona.
The Rams.
I forgot about them. They're the world champs, aren't they?
Yeah, let's talk about them.
Keep Cam Akers. Commit to Akers.
Yes, I was going to say get rid of Stafford.
Who's going to want him at that salary? That's the thing. I think they're stuck with him.
Yeah.
Blow it up.
I think they're stuck.
That's mine. Blow it up.
Trade Cup.
Yeah, I was going to
Trade
say
Donald.
Trade Ramsey.
Trade Ramsey.
They won a ring. Now get rid of it and start
Trade
over.
McVay.
Get some picks.
Trade McVay. I do like what McVay's doing with Baker, though. Baker is showing some confidence. Yeah, he didn't win today, but they stuck in there.
Yeah, man, the surprise upset last week.
Akers look good. Akers look good.
Get rid of Higbee. He's making good money. Just move all the pieces and just blow it up.
Yep.
You got to get picks back.
Move Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
Start there.
Trade everybody.
What about Cooper? Oh, here's one. Now, we all talk about when the Bills traded for Diggs and the Eagles traded for AJ Brown. What if the Bears traded for Cooper Kupp? That would be that type of move, right? He's a little bit older than those guys are, but like
I feel like Fields needs
Splash.
a speedy, like AJ Brown would have been a perfect fit for the Bears. Like that would have been a perfect slam dunk pick. They need a receiver like that. Like DK Metcalf would be a perfect fit for Justin Fields, but that ain't happening.
I think Claypool could fill like 60% of that role though. I think Fields needs a reliable weapon that gets open and is consistent and he can rely on.
You know,
Like
who'd be
Jerry
perfect
Jeudy?
for him? Like Jackson Smith Njigba from
Njigba!
Ohio State, who he played with.
Yeah, maybe. So I think that the Rams should definitely blow it up. And the Cardinals, I think they are gonna slightly kind of
Blow it up.
Push Cliff off the cliff.
Yeah. Yeah. I
It was
mean, that's what I have. I said just rebuild.
You
Cut
lost
Kingsbury
Atlanta.
and
Like,
Kyler Murray.
I
Just cut 'em
wanted
both.
Atlanta. I wanted
get rid of
Atlanta to
them.
lose this game, by the way, because I wanted a better pick. But no, we had to lose to Arizona, who now jumps. I think they jump ahead of us in the draft order. They now have a top 5 pick.
Everyone knows my dislike for Kyler Murray, so like Hollywood's there long term. So is Hopkins.
Hollywood isn't there long term.
Oh, he's still on his rookie deal, isn't he?
Yes, Hopkins. There's slight rumors that he might not want to play there,
Can't say I blame him.
and I mean Trey McBride looks great, but
He looked good today.
He looked good today.
That'll be mine. Is get Trey McBride involved more because he is a good tight end. He is Zach Ertz, but young.
Zach Ertz is hella old.
Yeah, Marquise Brown has 1 year left on his contract.
Okay. And he's got the option, the 5th-year option potential.
This
'cause
is
he's
going to
first
be
round
a
pick.
very bad team, I think, next year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They have needs on defense. They're just they're not
If
great.
they fire their coach, JJ Watt's gone.
Yep.
Like the Buda Baker, I'm not sure. I think he
He's
resigned, so he's fine. But he's not old. He's just
No.
his body's old. Like that's what I think. Buda
Small.
is.
He's a small dude that plays hard.
yes.
Those
he's
guys.
he's an Earl Thomas style.
Yeah, for sure. Who am I forgetting in the NFC West?
The 49ers.
The 49ers.
Oh, duh. Like, Yadoi. I don't think they really they need to work on the offensive line a little bit and then
Yes.
commit to Trey Lance.
Yes. And okay, my thing with that is I'm going to agree. And what we heard with Tua is when McDaniels went to the Dolphins is somebody believing you means the world. Shanahan hasn't showed any of that towards Trey Lance.
No.
If he showed an ounce of, hey, he's my guy, he's our quarterback, I think Trey Lance can succeed. And that's what they need to do. They need to just go all in with it. There's throws that Brock Purdy made where I'm like, Trey Lance makes that. That's a slam dunk for Trey Lance because the arm strength is there. Yeah, I agree. Go all in with Trey Lance, and you're going to have to recover from losing D'Amico Ryans because he is going to be head coach somewhere.
Yeah, he'll
Easily.
probably get hired somewhere. Do we want to flip to the AFC? We're
No,
running long.
we are going to save that.
All right,
We're
I
gonna
was going to
save
We
say.
are AFC's next week.
Okay.
One last thing on the 49ers. Do not re-sign Jimmy G. Do not.
Nope. I
I
think
think
that
now
is,
Purdy
that
has
Purdy's
shown
there, yeah,
I think
enough.
that is a
I
zero
think
chance.
what like you said, revamp the offensive line, keep rebuilding there. You're gonna have a healthy Debo Samuel come back next year. Ayuk looked great today. This offense
I
is
used to look great
fire.
most of the year. Yeah.
and yeah, that's it.
It'll be interesting. I think with a running back, we had Jordan Mason score the touchdown today, but
Mhm.
Ty Davis Price had a couple of carries. CMC's been great from his
he looks
usage.
so good. He's so goddamn good.
Yeah,
He's gosh darn good. I think with CMC, I wouldn't be surprised if they try again and draft another running back in the 3rd round. Like, hey, maybe year 4 is the charm. Like,
I think they go receiver heavy personally in the draft. I think there's a chance
I think Debo Samuel.
they pick up
I gotta look at his contract.
Debo's
they just
28.
re-signed him. Yeah.
28. Ayuk, I don't think they believe is the one. Jennings is fine.
I love
think
Jennings.
I think they go out in the 2nd round and they're like, okay.
Outside of those 3 guys, though, they don't have anything on that depth chart.
They've got-
Ray
they've
McLeod is.
They've got our dude
special
that we
teamer.
like. What's his name from SMU?
Oh, Danny Gray.
Danny Gray, who I do think they like, but
He could
he's
be a
not.
thing.
He's not anybody that's going to be a major splash. So I think they
No.
do go out and they draft a receiver early.
Yeah, and with Jimmy G coming off the books, they should have a pretty good amount of cap, I would imagine too. So, yeah, interesting. Any final words on the NFC. I think it was a weak conference this year.
Yeah, I mean, big time.
Yeah, so it should be interesting to see how it winds
San
up.
Fran and Philly, and then you've got a bunch of
everyone
goopity
else.
goop.
Yep.
The goopity goops.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
Dallas
true.
is starting to turn things around a little bit here at the end of the year, but
But they got Mike McCarthy, who we all know what happens when he hits the playoffs.
takes out the hammer and starts smashing watermelons.
Yeah, pretty much. So I did want to give a shout out to Underdog as well. So now that your season is the season is officially over, we still have week 18. You can still play Underdog if you're looking to do some prop bets. You're looking to do some little quick drafts, and with fantasy basketball and hockey and then baseball coming up, there's other options. So if you're a total like junkie and you want to be like, you know what, I still need to get my numbers in. I need to get some bets in. I need to win some money, get that dopamine hit now that football's over. You can do it on Underdog. You can use code DHH. They're going to match up to $100. You put 50, you get 50, so on and so forth. 100. You know how it works. All sorts of fun ways to play on Underdog. One of the best up-and-coming apps in the Google Play Store and the Apple iTunes Store. So again, download the Underdog app. Use code DHH to get your money matched today. And hopefully you win some cash. I didn't do so hot this year. I came a couple points of a couple $100 a couple times. And that was about the closest to sniffing victory I got.
I brought home some cash from some best ball. So I got
I won some money this year.
Yep.
I didn't
Me
do
too.
any other best balls, so I got to do that.
I like the daily best balls. So like you just log in and pick them. It's almost like DFS. And
my favorite part is the season-long best balls because you forget about it, and then you look at like week 15, 16, and you're like, holy crap, like I'm bringing home some.
they have that gauntlet coming up. It's like playoff best ball. I think I might have to get into that. It's like $1 million.
Yeah, $25
prizes.
entry, $1 million in prizes. Yeah, so once the season's over, you can still play DFS with the playoffs. It's a lot of fun. So you can do that. And also check out Dynasty Nerds. They've got a lot of cool stuff going on. Rich and Gene.
It's Dynasty Nerd season, baby.
It is Dynasty Nerd season. All sorts of cool stuff going on over there. So make sure you peep that. And it's getting really cold. I mean, it was like 60 degrees yesterday in New England, so it's not cold yet.
I wore shorts on New Year's Eve.
I've got a hoodie on because I'm a little under the weather and I'm a little cold myself. This is my flu game episode, apparently. I don't have the flu. I just have a cold. My nose has been running. It's beautiful. Hope you've enjoyed. So, yeah, check out... I just lost my train of thought.
Yep. My face did it for you.
Check out the sites where we get the things. Viridian Global, make sure to check it out.
The sites where we get the things.
Search GHH.
Go get a shirt.
Go get a shirt. You're looking for Odie, the wicked cool guy.
I'm looking for a Mark Andrews miracle right here.
Nope.
Samesies. I'm looking good
Just had a
though
big-
in my other
play, by
matchups
the way.
so far. Oh, did he? Ooh.
Yeah.
Yes. Now he needs a touchdown. Can we take Isaiah Likely? Can I go in a time machine? And
What
just
we
switch
can
them out?
we can do is we can hit the outro music.
All right. Well, till next time, people.
Yeah, we'll be back next week. Hopefully you won a championship. Tell us all about it. Hit us up on Twitter. Until next time, this has been Dynasty Happy Hour, and we will see you next week when we talk about the AFC.
Using your tears for lubricant.
James.com.